Welcome once again to Cooking with Wolfie and Fritzy. Today, we're going to do homemade mac and cheese, Wolfie style.
Hi guys, Wolfie back for Cooking with Wolfie and Fritzy. I was thinking we're going to get the pasta going with our mac and cheese. So I got the water on the stove. We're going to put a lot of salt in here. It makes, believe it or not, it makes the water boil faster. It brings it to a temperature way quicker, believe it or not. I like to put a lot of salt in here so you can taste it on your pasta. It makes the dish so much better. So when we've cooked the pasta, after it's done, we're not going to rinse it with cold water because that's just taken away from what we're doing now. So what we're going to do after we strain it, we're going to put it on a tray, and then we're going to oil it a little bit, and we're going to put it in the fridge to stop it from cooking. Alright guys, so with our mac and cheese, we're going to have caramelized onions inside the mac and cheese. It's going to be great. It's going to be nice. So I'm going to show you real quick how you cut an onion. So see this part right here? You cut that right off. So after this is cut, it actually helps it to sit flat as well, right? So then we cut right down the middle. Then we're gonna peel all this stuff right off, right? Okay guys, so we cut it down the middle. We wanna keep this side on just to keep it together when we're cutting it. So we're gonna go against the grain. You see how you can go down this way? We're gonna go this way. You want to keep your fingers inside too, like this. That way, you're not cutting them like that, right? You see, you can. Ouch! Yes. Okay, guys. Oh, wrong one. So now we're gonna caramelize our onions that we just cut while the water's still boiling. So, as I said before, butter and onions go well together. They're magic, right? So we're just gonna put the butter and let that melt.
Oops.
Let that melt. We got the water going to a boil. As you can see, Mild Spot gluten-free pasta, very smart of them. Okay guys, so now we got the butter melted, as you can see, nice and warm.
Melt it first?
Yeah, melt the butter first before we saute the onions. You can hear it sizzling. So break up the onions like this. Then we're just going to let the onions cook at the same time the pasta cooking. Perfect timing. This is what we like. This is what we want. Okay guys, with the onions, you just kind of stay on top of it. It's going to take a while for these to cook down. We want it like the carnival style. We want them caramelized.
Flip that. Yeah.
See, we're getting a little bit of color now. We want that nice and golden brown. We'll show you at the end how they come together. You kind of got to stay on it. It takes a little bit, so let them cook by themselves, but be around. Strain the pasta. It's nice and cooked. And as you can see, I'll show you 1 second. I put a bowl underneath to catch the water. That water is golden. We can use that later.
Starchy.
It adds some starches to our sauce, and it helps the pasta stick with the sauce. It coats it a nice coat. So, like I said before, we're not going to rinse this because the salt in the water makes this so much saltier, makes it such a good tasting pasta. Okay, so now we're putting oil in here just to keep it from clumping. You know, it's okay if they stick together, but we don't want them to clump. So now we're just going to move them around like this to keep everything going around. And like I said before, it's still cooking because it's hot. We're going to throw this in the fridge now, and then bring it back out when we're ready to serve everything. Alright guys, as you can see, the onions are perfectly done, nice and caramelized, just like the leaves, maple leaves season this year.
Caramelized leaves?
Perfect, caramelized leaves. So we want to caramelize like that, and now we're going to add our 33% cream, or 35, same, it's exact same, really similar. So we're going to add some cream. and we're going to reduce that. We're not going to add any thickening agent with this, because we're just going to reduce it, and that's all we're going to need. Alright guys, so as you can see, got the cream in there.
So, are we making a roux, or we're skipping a step here? There's no roux.
I like the question, Miles. That's a great question. Yeah, you know what? You can make a roux. Me, myself, I like to cook. I like to have things and reduce them by themselves. It intensifies the flavor when you reduce anything. Okay, so as you can see, it's working out nicely here. We got our onions in here. So we're letting it reduce, like I said. I like it nice and thick, so we just gotta let it go. We gotta stay on top of this. We don't want to burn it, so we're moving it around. As you can see, it's simmering nice. To bring it to a simmer, you gotta bring it to a boil, then bring it back down until it's a rolling bubble. And then that's perfect. Look at that. So we bring it to a boil. Now it's down to a rolling bubble. See that? That's a simmer. Okay, guys. So as you can see, it's thickening up real nicely for us. I love that. I can smell the onions. You smell the onions, Miles?
Oh yeah, smells like Nylander.
He stinks. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna scrape the sides. We don't want anything burnt in there. So now we're gonna add the cheese.
Cut the cheese.
So, we got our grater. So, you want a lot of cheese, right? It's mac and cheese. You want a lot of cheese in there.
Or else you'll get complaining. Look at my house. Seriously, man.
Not enough cheese.
Not enough cheese.
Well, we're gonna put a lot of cheese in this one. So, we bought a 450 gram thing of cheese. We used about just over 1/3 of that.
That sounds like a pound.
What's a pound? I think it's
454. Believe me, I know.
So okay, so it's about 1/3 of a pound. So now we're just gonna let that melt. Okay, guys. So now we got almost the sauce completely done. As you can see, got the onions in there, got the cheese in there. The cream is reduced to a nice thickness. We're gonna add some of that pasta water. It's gonna help. It's got a lot of starch in here. It's gonna help the macaroni adhere to the sauce.
Stick them up.
Stick them up. There we go. There you go, buddy. Okay, guys. So I like to put breadcrumbs on the top and then turn the broiler on your stove. Heat from above. Broil means heat from above. So I have it on already. It's at 525. The heat's starting to radiate down. So we just cut a couple buns. One bun, actually. That's all you need. So we only cut one. That was 1/4 of a bun. We're going to put the breadcrumbs on it after we plated it. We're going to brown these breadcrumbs underneath the broiler that's at 525 right now in our oven. Like I said, a broiler is heat from above.
Alright, so what do you recommend for toppings, buddy?
Well, I got thick smoked bacon here. I put a little bit of some butter in here. And like I said before, when you're sauteing anything, you want to go away from you. That way if it splashes the other way. Okay, guys. So that's what you want. I mean, you could get a little darker, but I'm happy with that.
So hey, what do you recommend really for putting on? You can put anything on this thing or what?
Well, I think the recipe that I looked up calls for chives, so I'm gonna put some chives on here. It makes it looks pretty, right? And some bacon. So that's mine. I know Miles doesn't like bacon very much, but he asked for a couple, so bam.
Dinner served tonight. Marna scored, find the cutting board, 'cause Wolfie's cooking tonight. A good old cooking show.